I think it's safe to say that if you haven't been to Kyoto, you haven't been to Japan. This is actually my third time to this amazing city, and there is still so many things that I have not yet done. That is why Kyoto is the cultural heart of Japan. There are over 4,000 temples and shrines, most of them UNESCO World Heritage Sites. It is nestled within beautiful nature like the amazing bamboo forest that we are walking through right now. Actually, speaking of this area, it's called Arashiyama, and for whatever reason, when people tend to come here for a weekend trip, they never make it out here. And that's probably because it's about an hour-long bus ride outside of the city center, but it's 100% worth it. There are so many beautiful sights in this area. It's a little bit more relaxed than downtown Kyoto, but that's actually why I wanted to start my video in this area, to give you guys an idea of what Arashiyama has to offer so you don't miss out. And in general, this video will be an overview of some of the top things to do in Kyoto, as well as some of the lesser known ones sprinkled in. As you guys can probably see, the crowds are quite big here in Kyoto. Before this, I was in Osaka and Nara, and I wouldn't say it was that busy. Of course, we are about 2 weeks away from cherry blossom season, and that will be absolute insanity as far as crowds go, especially here in Kyoto. But to be honest, I was not expecting it to be this bad this time of year. The 2 other times that I was in Kyoto was just after Golden Week, so kind of summertime, and there was so few people around. Like, it actually was a great time. Everything was green, it wasn't too hot. And then of course my favorite time that I was here was in the fall. I think it was probably about November time when all the leaf changing season had happened, and it is just magical. So as wonderful as it would be to see the cherry blossoms here in Kyoto, I honestly would not recommend coming here for that season because there's just way too many people. There are so many other beautiful places to see the cherry blossoms in Japan where it's not going to be as crowded. So personally, I wouldn't recommend coming this time of year. As if I didn't see enough monkeys when I was in Bali, I'm back for more because this is one of the things that I haven't done yet here in Kyoto. They have a whole monkey park here. To be fair though, this is a kind of monkey that I have never seen in real life though. These are the kind that usually you can see in the north of Japan, in Hokkaido. So this will be a new experience for me, and if you like monkeys as well, it's a fun thing to do. I think it's only about 6 Canadian dollars, 5 US dollars, so definitely worth it. I had such a great time here at the monkey park, would definitely recommend. But speaking of amazing things to see and do here in Kyoto, there are so many. It is very easy to get overwhelmed with the itinerary. So in this video, I'm going to include a very brief overview of some of my top favorite places, especially if you are coming here for the first time. Now let us begin this list with one of the most famous temples in all of Kyoto, which is Kinkakuji, otherwise known as the Golden Pavilion. It was initially a retirement villa of the shogun Ashikaga Yoshimitsu, but according to his will, it later became a Zen Buddhist temple and still stands as that. The two top floors are covered in gold leaf, giving it an amazing appearance any time of the year. The second temple that I would recommend you guys visit is actually quite close to the Golden Pavilion, and it is called Ryoanji. Now, why this temple is especially famous is actually its rock garden. Rock gardens are definitely a staple in traditional Japanese landscapes, and it's actually a lot harder than you would think to make a rock garden, to find the exact right-sized pebbles and then to rake them into meticulous shape. The temple itself is also quite beautiful. You can walk around the perimeter of it and take in all the beautiful art. Just like the last temple, this was originally an aristocrat's villa during the Heian period, but was later converted into a Zen temple in 1450. Also, fun tip, that on the property of this temple there is an amazing soba place. I highly recommend you guys have lunch there. It was so good and only $10. Probably some of the best soba I have ever had. Next on our list is something a little bit different, which is Nijo Castle, one of the most famous castles in all of Japan. It was built in 1603 and was the Kyoto residence of Tokugawa Ieyasu. He was the first shogun of the Edo period. It then served as an imperial palace before being donated to the city and is now open to the public as a historic site. Nijo Castle is actually spread over quite a large area. There's a literal moat around the castle and a lot of beautiful gardens. But for me, the star of the show is definitely Ninomaru Palace, which served as the actual residence and office of the shogun. You can pay a little bit extra and go inside of the palace, but unfortunately you are not allowed to film or take any pictures. But nevertheless, I would highly recommend going inside. This is one of the most beautiful palaces that I have ever seen, really done in the traditional Japanese style. I've really never seen anything like it. And last but certainly not least, I would definitely recommend you visit the famous Fushimi Inari Shrine. The shrine itself is dedicated to Inari, which is the Shinto god of rice, and you'll see statues of foxes everywhere because they are thought to be Inari's messengers. But it's not the main shrine site that is actually the main attraction of Fushimi Inari. It's actually the thousands of orange torii gates that scale up the mountain. Some of you may recognize this place from the famous movie Memoirs of a Geisha, since they had a really memorable scene here. What I think most first-time visitors, myself included, don't realize though about this shrine is that it is a literal hike. Like, it is 2 to 3 hours round trip if you are actually planning to get to the summit of Mount Inari. Luckily, there are a lot of places to stop and rest along the way. You can also get some traditional snacks, lots of drinks. There's a literal vending machine at the summit, which I think only Japan would do something like that. So I would highly recommend doing the hike, but of course you could just turn back whenever you felt like it as well. Now last but certainly not least, we have come to arguably Kyoto's most famous area, which is the Gion, otherwise known as the Geisha District. This area has been around for a very long time and is of course very well known for the traditional Japanese arts. Geishas are true masters of their craft in hospitality and also the Japanese arts. Most have to start training at like 14 or 15 years old and only become apprentices after like 5 years. Sadly, the work of geishas now is a sort of dying art. It is believed that there's only about 1,000 left in all of Japan, and the majority actually do work here in Kyoto in the Gion district. If you are interested in seeing a show, I think there are some tailored specifically, towards foreigners. It is still, of course, quite expensive because it is a very rare sort of experience. So whether you're coming for dinner or just to walk around, I would really recommend it because this is such a special area, and coming at night is the best because all the lanterns are lit up. It just has this cozy sort of feel to it, and it's definitely my favorite area of Kyoto. Now, as we cross the bridge on Sanjo-dori, we are leaving the traditional Gion district and entering this much more lively, modern entertainment district. I think if you're looking for a really nice, traditional sit-down dinner, ideally with a few other people so you can share things. I find that eating at some of the restaurants by yourself in the Gion isn't the best, just because they're kind of shareable sort of plates, like a lot of izakayas. So personally, I prefer this area to grab dinner in, just because there's much more variety, first of all, with the kinds of restaurants that they have here, and also the restaurants tend to be a lot more budget friendly here. So this is one of my favorite sushi restaurants here in Kyoto. It's called Sushi no Musahi, and what I like about it is that you can either grab some sushi off of the conveyor belt or you can order directly from the menu. Overall, it's fairly budget friendly, and they also have some very unique options, you could say. So most Japanese restaurants will actually give you free tea, and you just press it against that and it gives you hot water. Arigatou gozaimasu. So this is what I'm starting with today. Bit of a weird item, right? They have grilled corn sushi here, but I just got some cucumber rolls, some salmon, and then some tuna rolls. I'm pretty, basic when it comes to my sushi taste. So that is it, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this video of Kyoto. It is definitely an amazing city and there is so much to see. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you have been here, what would you suggest? And lastly, because I was actually told that I don't advertise this enough, but if you do enjoy my videos and want to support my channel, I do have a Patreon. It is actually linked at the end of the video or in the description of the video, and basically depending on how much you want to give per month, there are different things that you get. My most popular tier is definitely my postcard club, which basically you get a postcard once a month from all the different places that I travel to. So I thought that I would let you guys know about that now, if in case you wanted to get a card from Japan while I'm still here. Make sure you sign up at least in this next month as it comes out. But as always, I'm sending you guys so much love. Thank you for tuning in, and keep being your own kind of beautiful. Bye guys.